Good morning, dear students. So, in the last video, we have seen up to displacement and double displacement reaction. I hope now this much reaction you have understood. Combination reaction, that means when two or more reactants react together and just give one product, that means they are combining. All are combining together and giving one product. So it is combination reaction. Then decomposition reaction. It is completely opposite of combination. In decomposition, only one reactant decompose due to heat, sunlight or ultraviolet rays and separates themselves into two or more products. That means they undergo decomposition. Displacement reaction, it means the place of one of the component of the molecule of the compound is displaced by other more active compound, and that is a single displacement, mono displacement, or you can say displacement reaction. Double displacement, that means during reaction two reactants are reacting and both the reactants are displacing one of their components with each other and is producing two more new products, then it is called double displacement, right? And now today we'll start with one more reaction, and that is precipitation reaction. Precipitation reaction, it is because during reaction precipitates are formed. Now what are precipitates? Precipitates are very small insoluble particles. Before I exactly give or discuss the chemistry definition, I would just like to give you a simple example which you are observing and which you have observed in your daily life. You all know that your mother used to prepare buttermilk, chas. She prepared it from the curd, dahi. She add water into the curd, beats the curd and then churn the curd. जो कर्ड होता है उसको मम्मी स्कूप या तो स्पून से बराबर हिलाती है, फिर उसको गोल गोल हिलाती है, चर्निंग करती है पानी डालने के बाद. तो क्या होता है, जो कर्ड होता है दही वो धीरे धीरे बिट हो जाता है, पार्ट्स बन जाते हैं उसके, और इट कन्वर्ट्स इनटू द बटर मिल्क, छाछ में कन्वर्ट हो जाता है, छाछ में कन्वर्ट. उसी बटर मिल्क को आप थोड़ा सा ग्लास में या तो एक चम्मच में लेकर बराबर से ऑब्जर्व करेंगे, नोटिस करेंगे, तो आपको दिखेगा कि अंदर छोटे छोटे वाइट पार्टिकल्स दिखते हैं जो पानी में बिल्कुल डिज़ोल्व नहीं होते. लेकिन पानी ट्रांसपेरेंट होता है बिना कलर का और दही वाइट होता है, तो ये कम्प्लीटली सॉल्यूबल पार्टिकल्स नहीं है, इनसॉल्यूबल पार्टिकल्स है, लेकिन उसके वाइट कलर के हिसाब से हमें पूरा पानी वाइट दिखता है, जिसको हम बटर मिल्क, छाछ कहते हैं. दैट मीन्स दिस इनसॉल्यूबल पार्टिकल is not now curd. Reaction takes place between curd and water, and whatever the particles are able to dissolve in water, they have dissolved. But certain particles in the curd, which are proteins having little high fat in it, they remain insoluble. In 9th standard we have learned about colloidal particles. They will remain floating throughout the solution. घुल मिल नहीं जाएंगे पूरे सॉल्यूशन में, ऐसे ही वो फ्लोट होते रहेंगे. These insoluble particles, tiny particles, in chemistry language are called precipitates, and as they are formed due to reaction, and so the reaction is called precipitation reaction. So now let us see the exact definition as per our chemistry. You once go through this, huh? Ask your mom to prepare buttermilk from curd and then observe. Every day you are using buttermilk and till day you are having it. But observe in this manner whether precipitates are seen or not. Science is there in our life only. So enjoy it and try to learn it. The reaction in which one of the product formed is an insoluble substance and is thrown or filtered out of the solution as solid particles are called precipitates, and the reaction is called precipitation reaction. The substance that separates out as precipitate is indicated in the reaction by downward arrow. So when the reactants react and the new product is formed, and out of this new product, if one of the product is very small particles, insoluble small particles, then they are precipitates, which is shown by downward arrow. If you remembered one of the animated videos I have sent before the summer break about lead nitrate, in that you would have observed yellow colored precipitates. Two solutions were there, potassium chloride and lead nitrate. Lead nitrate, yellow color precipitates, and potassium chloride was the aqueous solution. Here is an example, aluminium chloride AlCl3 aqueous reacts with ammonium hydroxide NH4OH. When they reacted, these are the reactants. What happened over here? OH and Cl is displacing. Cl is displaced from aluminium chloride to ammonia, and hydroxide from ammonia is displaced to aluminium. So we can say this is the double displacement reaction, as well as when the product was formed, ammonium chloride remained aqueous, and in that aqueous solution, aluminium hydroxide was very small particles insoluble, that is precipitates. Downward arrow is shown over here. Aluminum hydroxide AlOH thrice and ammonium chloride NH4Cl. See here the reaction I showed you in the animated video was lead nitrate with potassium chloride. Here it is lead nitrate PbNO3 twice with potassium iodide. Chloride and iodide are the halogen family. So it may react with chlorine, it may react with iodine, it may react with bromine. And you see here, lead nitrate when reacts with Ki, potassium iodide, it gives lead iodide as a particle, small insoluble particle, which is termed as precipitates. And another aqueous is potassium nitrate. So here also you can say I is displacing from potassium to lead. Nitrate is displacing from lead to potassium. This is also double displacement. Two of the substance components of these two substances are changing their place, so displacement, double displacement. And as you see, one of the product is insoluble particles, precipitates, so it is precipitation reaction, right? So one type of reaction may undergo 2 or 3 identification. That also you have to keep in mind. So I hope that you would have understood about precipitation reaction. The next is exothermic reaction. Exo it means the thing which is given out, and therm, that is heat. So a reaction in which heat is thrown out, or you can say heat is releasing, it is called exothermic reaction. The term exothermic means giving out heat. Exo means out, thermic means giving out heat. The reaction in which heat is liberated or given out, liberated that means to give out, is known as, or those reactions are known as exothermic reactions. Burning of carbon in oxygen. When carbon burns in oxygen, definitely it will liberate heat, and so it is exothermic reaction. Now how we will identify? So when the reaction is written over here, carbon plus oxygen gas gives carbon dioxide gas plus heat. So here you see heat is on the product side. That means heat is releasing out. And that's why it is exothermic. Burning of methane. Methane is a gas, CH4. Methane gas. Burning of methane gas, that means in presence of air, oxygen. It also gives carbon dioxide, water, as well as heat is liberated. Right? So this is how the reaction takes place. Burning of carbon in oxygen, burning of methane, both of them, they forms carbon dioxide and releases heat. So this is exothermic reaction. See here are some other examples of exothermic reactions. Dissolution of concentrated sulfuric acid in water. When concentrated sulfuric acid is mixed with water, it will liberate heat, and so it is also exothermic reaction. You know what is concentrated. In 9th standard I have explained. Diluted, it means where the amount of water is 95% and amount of solute, whether acid, base or some other component, is just 5%, then it is diluted. And concentrated, it means where the amount of water is just 5% and the acid, base and some other components are 95%. So here concentrated sulfuric acid, when added to water, it will liberate heat, and so it is exothermic reaction. In the same way, dissolution of caustic soda, that is sodium hydroxide, right? It is also in water, it is also exothermic. Combustion of LPG, that is liquefied petroleum gas, which is used in our cooking as well as in vehicles. Kerosene, furnace oil, these are all the fuels. When they undergo combustion, when that means when they burn, they also release heat, and then and only then our vehicles run because of the heat produced by the gas. Our cooking is possible because heat is liberated due to combustion of the gas, right? Reaction of lime calcium oxide with water, which converts to calcium hydroxide, whitewash, chuno, right? When the whitewash is taking place of the houses, chuno mare chhe uke che na. So that is a lime reacting with water. It also liberates heat. And respiration process, when we respire, if you have observed, when you respire through your nostrils, just keep your hand little away from your nostrils and feel the heat which is liberating out from one of your nostrils every alternate periods. So that is respiration process, exothermic. And opposite of exothermic is the endothermic reaction. Now you know exothermic, giving heat out. In the same way, endothermic, that is use of the heat. Certain reactions, it takes place in presence of heat, that means they are using heat, and it is endothermic. The reaction which proceeds with the absorption, exothermic it was liberation, here it is absorption, that means using. The reaction which proceeds with the absorption of the heat are called the endothermic reactions. Endo in thermic heat. And in the reaction, when we write equation type, the heat here is not written on the product because it is not liberated. It is used up. It is absorbed. So it is on the reactant side. Nitrogen gas, when reacts with oxygen gas, they release heat but will not give out. They are using heat for their reaction. The temperature here is 3000 degrees Celsius. So at this high temperature, the heat which is produced is used by these two reactants, and they undergo the reaction to produce nitrogen oxide and nitrous oxide, and that is endothermic. Carbon, when reacts with water and when they are heated, they use the heat to give carbon monoxide plus hydrogen gas. Carbon monoxide gas plus hydrogen gas together is called water gas, right? Water gas is also called synthesized gas, and which is used in many synthesized process, which you will learn in 11th standard. Some other examples of endothermic reactions is dissolution of ammonium chloride in water. When NH4Cl ammonium chloride is dissolved in water, it also uses or absorbs the heat, that is an endothermic reaction. Conversion of water to steam, it is also using up of heat, that is endothermic. Our digestion process, when we eat food and the food is digested, because of the heat which is produced during respiration process is used up in the digestive process, and that is why digestion process is absorbing heat. It is called endothermic reaction. So this is all about precipitation reaction, exothermic reaction and endothermic reaction, right? Please go through it properly, and in the next video we will continue with one more type of reaction, that is oxidation and reduction reaction, and in the combination is considered as a redox reaction, right? So that we will continue in the coming video. By the time, thank you.